Hi, I'm HENSICA Bintini and I'm the team leader.
Hi, I'm Tanurjun.
Hi, I'm LUQMAN.
And we are the editors.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah and I am your teacher. Good morning, I bid to the eminent judges and fellow viewers. Today, my group and I are going to be presenting about Chapter 4, Form 2 Science, which is Human Health. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been sick before? Maybe down with a bad flu, cough, or even food poisoning? I'm pretty sure most of us have been sick before. Now, these illnesses are called diseases. A disease is an abnormal condition in our body and mind that causes discomfort, difficulty in functioning, and even stress to an individual. Diseases can affect how our body works and even our daily activities. Diseases are generally divided into two, which is infectious disease and non-infectious diseases. According to global health statistics, 74% of deaths are caused by non-infectious diseases. Meanwhile, 14% of deaths are caused by infectious diseases, and the remaining 12% are due to other causes such as injuries and accidents. Now, infectious diseases are caused by pathogens that are harmful microorganisms like bacteria, protozoa, fungi, and viruses. These pathogens have a special relationship called parasitism, where one man benefits while the other is harmed. In this case, the person infected is the one harmed, while the pathogens which absorb nutrients from human like us is the parasite. Now, knowing how this infectious disease work is important, but knowing how they spread is even more important. Now, let me pass this video to Hannah.
Thank you, HENSICA. Just so you know, infectious diseases can spread through humans very easily through many different ways. The first way is waterborne transmission. This occurs when people drink or use water that has been contaminated with microorganisms from sewage, waste, and even infected people. Examples of waterborne transmission diseases include cholera, typhoid fever, hepatitis A, and even dysentery. These diseases can cause symptoms such as diarrhea, stomach pain, and even dehydration. The second way is through airborne transmission. This happens when people who are sick, they cough, they sneeze, or even talk, they release tiny droplets that contains pathogens. And these little tiny droplets can be inhaled by people nearby and making the disease more easily to spread. Examples of airborne transmission diseases include tuberculosis, the most common one flu, SARS, and even H1N1. Another method is through contact transmission. This occurs when pathogens are being transmitted through direct contact or sharing personal belongings such as combs, towels, or clothing. For example, fungal infections like ringworms or tinea, they can be spread while your personal items are being shared. Another method is through vectors. If you don't know what vectors are little small animals that carry pathogens from one host to another. For example, rats, mosquitoes, or flies, and even cockroaches. For instance, dengue fever and Zika virus are being transmitted through mosquitoes, while leptospirosis is being transmitted through direct contact with rat urine. With these methods, they can show how easily these infectious diseases can be spread through our environment. But I was wondering, what about non-infectious diseases? For that, I'll pass that to ARIF.
However, not all diseases spread from person to person. Another major category is non-infectious disease, also known as chronic disease. This disease cannot be transmitted between individuals and usually develops slowly over time, often lasting for many years or even a lifetime. Most common example is cardiovascular disease. These include conditions such as coronary artery disease, stroke, and hypertension, which are also known as high blood pressure. This disease can affect your heart function and blood flow, and is often linked to lifestyle such as lack of exercise, obesity, and unhealthy diets. Another serious non-infectious disease is cancer. Cancer occurs when cells grow and divide uncontrollably, forming a tumor. These abnormal cells do not function properly and can surround healthy cells. In most severe cases, cancer can infect the other part of the body. The common non-infectious disease is diabetes, which occurs when our body did not make enough insulin or did not use insulin properly. This results in high sugar in our blood. Also, chronic respiratory disease, which infects the lung and breathing system. Although non-infectious disease cannot spread from person to person, but it still have a major impact on global health.
A well-known infectious disease in recent history is COVID-19. COVID-19 is caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus and was first identified in 2019. COVID-19 spreads through many countries and was declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization. The COVID-19 mainly spreads through respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks. The common symptoms of COVID-19 is fever, cough, sore throat, fatigue, or difficulty breathing. Some people may also lose their sense of smell or taste. The pandemic had a huge impact on the world, mainly affecting the schools, workplaces, travel, and daily lives. Many countries had introduced measures such as wearing masks, practicing social distancing, and vaccination programs to reduce the spread of the virus. Besides understanding diseases, we should also know how to prevent them. To prevent infectious disease, we should manage good hygiene, such as washing our hands regularly, keeping our surroundings clean, and avoid sharing personal items. Hi, Anna.
So, drinking water that is clean and safe can also help us prevent from waterborne diseases. In addition, we can control vectors such as mosquitoes and rats to stop or to reduce diseases just like leptospirosis and dengue.
Mahana, how do we prevent non-infectious disease?
How about we ask that to the expert?
Ooh.
To prevent non-infectious disease, we need to maintain a healthy lifestyle, such as eating healthy, exercise regularly, getting enough rest, and also avoid smoking and alcohol. Regular checkup also can avoid non-infectious disease.
Chat tu confirm pula. Oh.